How about environmentally? The discs themselves were probably environmentally.
They weren't thinking that far.
Those you just find still intact, scratched to shit, laying around somewhere. Like, well, I can't do anything with this thing.
So somebody uses them on their like garden, and in one of the neighborhoods, I guess they
Just like
Reflect
rotating.
light.
it like reflects
I
light.
think it's like more like a scarecrow.
I walk past every day. I'm like, are those any burn CDs or just you got some blank ones? They might be, but
Got a
they've
good
been out
mix
in the
there?
sun.
CDRs,
Jelani's
RWs.
Mix 32.
Right.
RW is a whole new level. We can just keep going over the top of them.
Right?
Did you ever do that? I never.
Oh yeah, I was.
Once I made one, that was it.
Oh,
Oh.
no, definitely.
That's how you transported songs to your friends. You just burn on an RW,
Yeah.
let them take it off, and then you wipe the disc.
Oh, no, I just made them a mix
Oh, yeah.
CD and gave it to them.
I had a ton. I mean, that was one of the things in my dorm room. I had the stack of like 100.
Oh yeah,
And you just
were-
like, hey,
yeah.
we're going to pump out some of these.
That just
CDs.
lived
They
on
were
a-
just more expensive. So that's
lived
why.
on our desk. Big old stack.
Yeah.
Kevin came with like a 400 pack.
Yeah.
Welcome to our Film Fathers podcast, the definitive podcast about fatherhood, film, and fatherhood in film. This is Jelani, and with me as always are fake-ass handsome McGee and a guy who needs absolute silence while he falls into character, Martin and Brady.
The 3 Keys of Coolness in High School by Jenko. 1. Don't try hard at anything, okay? 2. Make fun of people who do try. 3. Be handsome. 4. If anyone steps to you on the first day of school, you punch them directly in the face. 5. Drive a kick-ass car.
We're talking missionary. We're talking missionary. We're talking when I'm on top and she's on her back.
This week, we're diving into 2 of the most important cinematic masterpieces of our time. 2 of the most groundbreaking films in cinema history. Films that redefine what it means to be funny and meta. I'm talking about 21 Jump Street and the aptly titled 22 Jump Street. Movies that make you question, why hasn't Channing Tatum gotten more Oscar buzz in his career? As well as whether Jonah Hill is one of the greatest actors of whatever generation he's part of. So grab your fake IDs, your terrible wigs, and maybe a few gold stars, because it's time to jump into the street and head back to school. Again.
This was fun. I had a good time. I'm very curious what Brady thinks
Exactly.
about Channing Tatum.
Would he have made
now.
it through?
And that he didn't have the objection, to watching these. He was like, okay, yeah, we'll watch.
I mean, we've all seen both these previously,
yeah,
right?
I have.
Yes.
Yeah, I kind of forgot.
Johnny,
that
you're
I,
just such a wild card with this. It's like I just assume, but at the same time,
I kind of forgot that I watched the second one, but yeah, I have.
But funnily enough, that was the one you quoted when we brought it up.
What do you mean?
My name is
my name
Jeff.
is Jeff. 'Cause I've seen more of it. Because I've seen that clip so many times.
I'm just saying, it's funnily,
Yeah.
like, ironically, that's the movie you
Yeah,
quoted when
yeah.
we talked about it.
That's right.
Well, I didn't know you guys were going to. I mean, okay, so it's very clear, right? Like, Channing Tatum sucks, but
In these movies,
he may
does
even be
suck?
cool.
Come on, that's a no.
It's a no?
Yeah, you hesitating is a no. I think he didn't suck in these.
No, this is probably the best work
Yeah,
he's done. And it's pretty, like, it's not like there's anything to him
Yeah.
doing anything.
I
so,
just
like,
think he's funny.
I think it kind of
he's good.
fills, I think it feeds into my opinion, but,
Right. But I like that he could make fun of himself, self-deprecatingly. I think is perfect, and he's perfect. He's perfectly cast, right? He's perfect for this role.
Right. He's a big dumb jock.
Big dumb Jack.
and that plays, right? Like, that's not a stretch.
But I think you have to. I think the point is what I'm saying is you have to be kind of smart to be able to play dumb this well, right?
Wow, okay.
I think.
No?
Well, I think it also has to be written.
Yeah,
well
I think
for
it
you.
comes down to being a well-written movie.
Yeah. So that's what I was going to ask. Like, is it a testament to good writing if there are just dumb lines, dumb gags, and things like that? Like, or is it just they just kind of went with whatever was popular at the time and threw it in there? I feel like it's more of like they knew what they wanted to do and they knew how they wanted to execute it, and it may come off as like them being dumb, but it's actually good writing.
I think it's good writing. Yeah,
I think it's probably good writing, but I also
your
think
question.
that threading that needle is probably why a lot of movies fail and
Yeah,
a lot
right.
of movies don't. It's sometimes you get it right, and sometimes it just is a matter of maybe they got everything right. It's well written. It's executed well by like the two leads, and
Good support.
it just like it happens to play right. Like if it's not Tatum and Jonah Hill, I know Jonah wrote it, but like if it's not them on screen, maybe this movie's just a flop. The first one's a flop, and it just doesn't play. I'll be honest. I kind of thought they were not nearly as good as I thought they were
Oh,
on the rewatch.
on the rewatch.
Both of them.
I've only seen
The
them
second
once.
one I actually think's pretty shitty.
Oh, yeah. I was surprised that I didn't hate it that much, and because they were making fun of themselves a lot.
Yeah,
You know, the whole like exactly like we did,
Yeah.
like we did last time. You know, so
no,
I
all the
didn't hate
tongue in
it.
cheek stuff and the meta stuff, and like I don't know, I was very not in love with it, and honestly thought the first one I was like, this isn't as funny as I. In my head, I thought this was funnier.
I didn't remember all of the meta stuff, so that's what like Nick Offerman was the selling point for me when he started explaining exactly what was going to happen and how, like, you know, it's not necessarily breaking the fourth wall, but basically just telling the audience like, yeah, we didn't have any good ideas, so we just took something that already existed and redid it. And
Yeah. I was surprised that I didn't hate the second one because I kind of thought I found myself laughing more than I thought.
Yeah, and it didn't make me laugh.
It just felt it did feel like more of the same, and it's funny because it's, you know, the show was just an episodic show, and this felt like, you know, they were just doing another episode, and I'm like, it's weird. Why does that work? Why does a formula work for a TV show, but for a movie, when you have a sequel, you're like, well, they're just rehashing the old shit,
Yeah.
and you get like upset about it, even though there was enough new stuff. I don't know. Yeah, I didn't find that bad, and yes, the first one I thought I could see why it's very popular, and
It
I
just
could
felt
see
like
people
with
watching it over and
with
over
the
again.
meta stuff. It was like a way. It was like I felt like there was a way to interpret that as Jonah Hill trying to mask that it was just a cash grab sequel,
right.
And
Yeah,
just be like,
it
oh
was.
well, guess what? We'll make fun of the fact that it is, and then it won't be considered as such. I'm like, I just thought in general it was a pretty dumb movie. And I wish it was funnier.
Yeah.
Most of that stuff didn't make me laugh. I was just like, okay, yeah, no. And I don't know.
10 and 12 and 10 years old, you know.
That felt weird.
It doesn't feel like it was that long ago, right?
did you guys ever watch the original show?
So I went back. I remember when it was on when I was a kid, but I never really watched it. But I remember seeing like previews for it. And I think I rented the DVDs back when you did that kind of thing to try to watch it. But it wasn't. I'm like, this isn't going to be for me. And that was probably in like 2000 or something, 2002. So no, I haven't really seen maybe more than one or two episodes.
That'd be a no for me, dog.
The creator, Stephen J. Cannell. So I remember seeing like his ending. You know, it's like him at the typewriter and he throws the paper and
Absolutely remember it.
I
It makes
remember.
the C with the
Yeah.
papers flying up.
I remember that.
Do you remember what show you saw that in?
That's what I'm curious now because I definitely know that.
Doogie Howser? I don't know.
Ooh.
Doogie Howser wasn't one of the ones on the list.
He's Stephen Bochco, I think.
Oh.
Or
Yeah.
that one's Stephen.
I think
I don't know, but now I'm curious.
So Jump Street is obviously one. The Rockford Files. Did you guys watch that?
Nah,
That wouldn't be it.
The A-Team.
Yeah, it's probably the
don't
A-Team.
think
Because I
that's
did watch
either.
the A-Team.
Hunter.
I watched Hunter, too. I liked Hunter.
I don't think I
The
know.
Commish.
I watched the
I did
Commish,
not watch
a little
The
bit of
Commish.
it.
And then one for Brady. Silk Stockings.
Nice, USA.
That's what it was for
That
Brady.
might have been the winner. Hey, I am who I am. And
But-
Silk Stockings was part of that.
All of those were ones that he created. So I think mine was the A-Team.
Yeah.
I remember seeing
I
it
do.
at the end.
For me, it still feels like it's something else. But
There's a ton. He's got a ton of shows that he is the either creator, the Greatest American Hero.
Yeah, I never watched that.
I don't know.
I just know the song from
From
Seinfeld.
Seinfeld, yeah, same. Believe it or not,
So
George is.
Oh, that's what that's from.
It's
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. I think is the theme song for the.
Yeah.
But then George changed it for his answering machine. Classic George.
So the other thing that I noticed when after watching the first one, so I was watching it, and then it, all the like, hey, if you like this, you might like. There was a huge like bunch of cop comedies that came out like right around the same time.
Like buddy cop movies.
Buddy cop movies
Yeah.
like Chips, Let's Be Cops, Ride Along with Ice Cube, Ride Along 2.
What's the Jackie Chan, Chris Tucker one?
Rush Hour.
Rush Hour.
But that was earlier.
That was early, I know, but I'm just saying, like, yeah, I mean, we did the whole buddy cop for Genre June, and it's buddy cop comedies, and yeah, it's just a formula that works, you know,
Yeah.
like two people that have good chemistry and make you laugh. That's all you need for a good movie, you know.
Would you guys ever go back to high school? Like 7 years out, 10
Can't
years
wait till
out?
I get to go to high school.
Don't you say that? Don't ever say that.
No, dude. I see zero reason that there would be any benefit to that.
No.
I do like in the second one where the girl who ends up being the villain, whatever her name is, she's like making fun of him for being so old, you know.
Oh, Jillian Bell?
Yeah.
Jillian Bell.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah,
and
yeah, she's
was it-
great.
And she's the
I was just going to say, where was she the other
Is it
villain?
in,
Office Christmas Party.
yes, Office Christmas
Yeah.
Party.
Which is funny because as I was watching this, I'm like,
Talk about being typecast.
do I know how this is going to turn out? And then in my head, I was like, she's the bad person. She's bad in that movie. I'm like, I think I'm mixing these up. And then
Right.
as it kept going, I'm like, oh, yeah, no,
Definitely her.
I got this.
She was in Workaholics too. Did you guys ever watch that show?
Not much.
Off and on.
Really
It was kinda
surprising. Oh, yeah. A lot of clips I saw I really
Yeah.
enjoyed. But
It was pretty good.
yeah, she's funny. And in
They
fact,
kiss right now.
it
It was like stuff like that did make me laugh way more than.
and they kept it was that I found pretty funny. There was a note saying that she was like she was the only person that could because Jonah like ad libs a lot. And so it was a lot
Keep
of
up
like
with
just
him.
kind of like riffing, and a lot of people. Channing Tatum hated it in the first movie because he just wasn't able to do it. Because
My name is Jeff.
Still the second one.
Oh, I know, but maybe they made fun of that for.
But he just couldn't do it because he's. But
Really
in the
smart to
second
play
one,
dumb.
he came around. But they said that the whole cast was like she was the only one that could like keep Jonah on his heels, and no one knew like where she was going with it. And like that was hilarious, right? Like when they kept yelling like her, she's like, "Are we gonna kiss?" And he's like, "No!" He's like freaking out. That got me.
So Jonah Hill. We've seen him in Superbad. We talked about it. Obviously, he's super hilarious in that. Do you guys love him? Do you tolerate him? Do you think he's like your question asked? Like, he's won or been nominated for Oscars? He's been in really big movies.
I put that. It was a little tongue in cheek, but it was.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's a reasonable reason to have that to ask that question.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, he's been in some of the funniest movies. He's been
Wolf of Wall Street and Moneyball
in
and serious
dramas,
stuff.
right? And been nominated for that. I don't love him, but I don't know why. I don't know the reason. Like there is something about him I don't love, but I
You
don't
like his sister more.
Sister was
Beanie,
great.
what's her
Beanie
last-
Feldstein?
Feldstein. Yeah.
She was great in
Booksmart.
Booksmart. But he's clearly really talented,
Yeah.
especially for someone who like in Accepted, you weren't like this guy's going places.
Right. or even
Yeah,
40-Year-Old Virgin. When he's the kid that comes in the shop with he wants to buy the
Oh, yeah.
boots.
He
He's
was
like,
in that, too.
oh, you got to buy them on eBay. He's like, why can't I just buy them right now?
I kind of forgot that was him.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it
I
wasn't
just
until Superbad that he really broke out.
right,
Yeah.
and no one foresaw him having like dramatic roles that were that he ended up getting recognition for.
Yeah, so you appreciate the fact that he's overshot his coverage, so to speak, right? Like he did better than you expected him to. It's good, but yeah, I think they worked well together. They played off each other well, and there is a lot of that super bad type. I love you, platonic love between two men in these movies that I don't know plays off well because Channing Tatum, love him or hate him. I think it works. He works with Jonah Hill pretty well.
Hate him.
Hate him.
Do you know the other movie that these two appear in? Appear in. And it's
This Is
also
the
by
End?
the same directors.
Project X.
Not This Is the End.
No.
Is Jonah not in it?
No.
Channing Tatum's in it.
Oh, Jonah might be. Jonah might be in this in the end.
All right. Well,
But it wasn't by these directors.
Isn't it that? Is it that? The other Christmas one. Aren't they in like a?
Jonah Hill in that Lost City of Gold bullshit with Sandra Bullock.
No.
Why don't
It's
you just
the-
tell me the movie that you?
It's the Lego movie. Lord Miller.
Oh, they did do the
Because
Lego
Channing
movie.
Tatum is Superman and Jonah Hill is the Green Lantern.
Oh,
And they like hang out. And he's like, "Oh,
oh,
guess what,
Superman.
buddy?"
Okay, right. I thought you said Batman.
No, that's Will
Yeah,
Arnett.
yeah, right.
But yeah, this is directed by Lord Miller, who did obviously the Lego movies and Into the Spider-Verse. So talented directors, and again, it leads to that whole like tongue-in-cheek and meta aspect of it. Like they knew what they were trying to do with that. The other thing that made it enjoyable as well is the cameos of the different actors, like Nick Offerman. Obviously, I wouldn't call Ice Cube being a cameo, but
That's good because it'd be wrong.
but then having like bringing in the Jump Street crew for the first
Yeah.
one.
Those are only true cameos, right?
Yeah, those would be actual cameos
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Because they had the two
Offerman's just
Johnny
a character.
Depp, Johnny Depp, and the other guy. I don't know his name. In the first one, and then Richard Grieco.
You forgot Holly Robinson Pete.
Oh, which one was she?
She was
a cop, but-
she's the cop that gives him the car.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
But I didn't
Yeah,
know
I
she.
did-
I
I
didn't
did
know
forget.
that. I didn't know that was she was from the show.
yeah, she was also on Jump
That's-
Street.
She's just
that's
from
right.
hanging with Mr. Cooper.
That's
it.
good. That's a good show too.
That's all I know her.
And Rodney Pete's wife.
Yeah, but
I remember watching renting a Richard Grieco movie called "If Looks Could Kill." It was basically like him being James Bond. It was a terrible movie, but I was like 8. I'm like, I'm gonna watch this movie. It's gonna be great. Terrible.
not so much.
Yeah. It's it might be in the 0 to 10 range on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
And then in the second one, throwing in like Patton Oswalt, and I don't know the actor's
love Patton
name, but the
Oswalt.
guy who plays Kevin on Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Holt's husband,
Oh,
yeah.
The professor.
the professor.
He's on. I think you should leave too. A couple episodes. He plays like a doctor.
Oh, is
or
he?
no? It was Detroiters.
Okay.
With Tim Robinson. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know he was on A Good Place, which was also a Mike Schur show, so that makes sense.
People love that show.
Yeah, I never watched it.
Yeah,
It's
me
good.
neither.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, you were telling. I think you were saying that was good, Johnny. Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was.
It
well
felt.
I mean,
like-
there's people that I see videos and they're like, I didn't want it to end. It's so good.
It felt like a show that just doesn't have the premise for me that I can't get past it. I can't get past the fact that I don't think I want to watch it, despite people saying it's really good.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I can get past it. I've tried it twice and I've only made it past like the 3rd episode.
Enough said.
Yeah.
It's not for you.
Yeah, maybe it's not. But
I should
it's
trust
been
Mike
for a
Schur.
while.
I mean, there's no reason for me not to trust him.
It's
Did
got
you-
Kristen Bell. So
Did you get to the point
That
where
might
they
be the
introduced
problem.
Ted Danson?
Ted Danson's in the first episode.
He is, and then Janet,
Who's Janet?
the guide. in
Yeah, I
the-
think she's
yeah.
there.
It's just one of the things that, like, as I was watching it, like, as you get
I
down,
don't remember.
because Ted Danson's character's name is Michael, and his like assistant is Janet,
Okay.
and you're just like Michael and Janet
I don't know what that is.
Jackson?
Jackson.
Oh.
It's just,
It's such a.
Do you think that's an actual
I'm sure
thing?
that's probably why
Okay, all
he
right.
put it together.
I mean, is there a Latoya in around or
I don't know. I don't remember.
like
It's been a while.
if it's just those two? I don't think that joke's that funny. If there's a bunch of people from the Jackson family, then okay.
Couple Jermaines.
Is there a George Michael?
And then for the second one, did you enjoy the Wyatt Russell character?
Yeah, I thought.
I
it was,
mean, I think
thought it
I've
was
seen
fine.
him before, but
Right. That's what I
Was
wrote
it, like
down.
you're saying, it's like the same from
I
Everybody
mean,
Wants Some.
he might just be the same.
the
in
same
general,
guy and everything.
guy's an athlete. We'll give him that. He's a pitcher.
do parkour.
He's a football player. He's actually a hockey player. He literally played hockey like
Was he in Miracle?
semi-professionally.
Oh,
I heard him tell a story on either Rich Eisen or Dan Patrick or something about how he was like literally living in the Amsterdam, Netherlands, like in the attic of some guy's like house who was like a huge stoner, drugs everywhere. He's just like playing for this like local club, and this is like where he
So that's
lives.
what you're saying. He doesn't act. It's just who he is.
Yeah,
Sounds like
that
it.
is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And he just happens to have the Kurt Russell Riz.
Yeah. Nice correction there. Amber Stevens, Maya, Ice Cube's daughter.
I mean, she just jumps off that screen.
Where else have we seen her?
You know, I looked it up, and I'm like, I would have
couldn't.
never
Yeah,
got it.
I couldn't think
Yeah.
of. She looked very familiar, and it must have just been from this movie. She must have just left an impression. But yeah, she should be in more things.
Yeah. She's apparently in the Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The Garfield ones?
Yeah.
No, okay. Those I don't remember those very well.
Is Dave Franco a lesser Franco, or are we on? Is he on par with his brother, or do we just not like the Francos at all?
Don't know the right answer.
I don't know the right answer either. It's a genuine question. Like I've seen them in a bunch of stuff, and I never like openly disliked. But I'm
Dave's-
not like, ooh, yeah. I love
Dave's pretty funny in Neighbors.
them. Yeah.
And was he in the one Netflix movie, Ryan Reynolds, where it's like 3 Underground or something?
6 Underground?
6 Underground.
I think
he's
he-
in that. I
I
think
think he's in 6
maybe
Underground.
even briefly. I feel like he's driving a car in the beginning. I can kind of
Yeah.
remember.
He's also in the Now You See Me.
Yeah,
Now You See Me Too.
He is in
Poorly
6
named.
Underground.
such a stupidly. How do you miss that bad?
Terrible.
It's got to be the worst name.
How do you miss that bad?
Yeah.
I don't like that at all. He was in The Disaster Artist with his brother James Franco, which you guys know what that is, right?
Yeah.
The
Yes.
making of the
Making
room,
of the worst
that you
movie
never
ever.
watched.
I'd be more.
You never finished.
Okay, that's the correct way to say that.
Neither did he.
I'm gonna make you guys go to like a midnight showing of it at somewhere.
No,
You won't.
absolutely not.
Just
You,
so
you
see-
won't. I just don't understand. There's nothing that could happen at that building that would make it worth it. Nothing.
Just seeing people, it'd be
Nope.
like
That does not. That will do nothing for me. Seeing
it's-
people,
knowing you're right.
seeing people enjoy that movie would in no way somehow make me then like it. It's really, really bad. Like
Yeah,
It's awful.
That's what makes it funny.
I wish
Uh,
I would rather watch a Channing Tatum solo show on
Yeah,
stage.
he's very easy on the eyes.
have you seen any of his other films? Like, have you seen White House Down,
Films.
Haywire,
I know
He's a
films.
film actor.
movies?
We're saying films.
He's an auteur.
You mean his meta comment about White House Down? How he wanted to go work at the White House to protect the president? Yeah.
Secret Service?
Let's see his. It's only listed as movies. I can't really find his film.
No films?
The film
Yeah,
He
let
tab.
me-
doesn't even get
he
doesn't
doesn't
even
have
get
a film
filmed for a
tab.
Soderbergh film?
The film tab is pretty short.
Yeah, well, he does the Magic Mikes.
Yeah.
Are definitely films.
I have not seen either of
I've
those.
not seen
3 of them?
Step Up.
Nope.
Seen it.
Sorry, Kevin.
She's the Man.
Seen it.
Binds?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, haven't seen it.
I think I have seen it. Dear John. What is that one? Is
That's
that
a
with
Nicholas
Amanda?
Sparks movie.
Oh, it is.
Haven't
yeah.
seen it.
I'm not going to watch that. He's in The Kingsman.
The second one, yeah.
The second
Wait,
one.
is
yeah.
that the one I said was awful? Or no, I'm talking about that was a different movie.
No, you said The Gentleman.
Yeah. Oh.
Which, by the way, I told Jen, like, we watched the show that it's based, like, the show on Netflix it's based off of was decent, but I said, Brady thinks the movie is the worst thing ever, so we might have to watch it.
I mean, I'm sure maybe it caught me on a bad night, but like I can't believe how bad it was for how many
Cast.
people are
Yeah.
in it. Like
Wait, which one is this?
The Gentleman,
Oh, The Gentleman.
movie.
Guy Ritchie.
Yeah.
I made it further in the Disaster Artist real movie, The Room or
Right.
whatever.
Yeah, The Room. Yeah.
The Room.
I made it farther in The Room than I did in The Gentleman.
Wow, that bad.
I found it quite bad.
How about Dog? Did you watch Dog?
No, but I found that pretty patronizing from a from a preview or trailer standpoint.
77% Rotten Tomatoes. That's because it's just a pet movie.
Exactly.
Everyone
Right.
loves. Yeah.
Marley
That's
and Me's got
easy
85.
Right. If it's not 100, I'd be shocked.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't like Logan Lucky, but I did. I kind of want to rewatch Logan Lucky.
Logan Lucky was probably the best
of
actual
Soderbergh.
movie he was in
Yeah.
that I'm aware of.
Side Effects, Haywire.
Side Effects is with Rooney Mara, I think. I think there are a couple.
Yeah.
It's not that good.
Not that good.
Haywire.
2% Rotten Tomatoes.
Haywire, is that
That's Gina
It is
Carano.
Gina
Noir.
Carano? Yeah.
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 I didn't know
But
he
wasn't
was
that
in it.
Soderbergh too?
Haywire might have been. Let's see.
Because I remember that one's supposed to be like that was supposed to be her turn.
There was
but
a lot of pub about it, but it
Yeah.
wasn't that good.
It wasn't great.
Yeah.
But it's got a
She ain't
decent
getting that role now.
cast.
Right. She kind of blew that one.
In the first,
I was waiting for you to say any other movies.
Oh. No. Yeah. No other films.
Dude, it's bad. It's not that I don't think I'm.
Hail Caesar. I don't know. He's been in a lot though, more than I even thought. I don't know a lot of these. He was in Don John. Like, is he just like? Does he make like a lot of cameo?
I
Like,
saw
or
Don
little
John, but I
appearances?
don't remember him in it.
Yeah, like he's not the main.
that wasn't why I watched Don John.
No. Faux show.
Right. It was for all his partners. And JGL, of course.
Absolutely.
Sure.
I don't know. Free Guy, Hateful Eight, Book of Life. He was in Hateful Eight. I don't even know. I remember not really liking that
I didn't
movie.
watch the Hateful Eight.
Yeah. It's just
But
not
he
good,
must
man.
be one of the 8.
Not good.
In the first
G.I.
film,
Joes.
we'll jump back to that. I did see that.
Yeah,
that had JGL
obviously.
and Channing Tatum.
Like Don John.
And the new movies this year are Fly Me to the Moon, Deadpool and Wolverine, and Blink Twice.
Are you interested in Blink Twice?
I've seen a shitload of trailers.
I have seen a bunch
Well,
of
actually, I haven't
trailers.
watched. I watched once.
I watched one.
79 on Rotten Tomatoes. Thriller.
It looks
yeah,
pretty
it
bad.
could be okay.
It's directed by Zoe. It's the only reason he's in it.
Oh, okay.
Got it.
Yeah.
I mean, that to me is kind of one. It's not really up my alley anyway. 2, that tells me it's a little bit of like your first directed movie. I'll be in it in order to put a name in it.
But it's got from Hitman, Adria Arjona, or however you say her name. So that's a plus.
Interesting.
I'm listening.
If you had said Isa Gonzalez, I might have been in.
Let's see. No. But Haley Joel Osment.
Speaking of, I told the kids we're gonna watch The Sixth Sense,
Yeah.
and I said,
Same.
but
I wanna-
don't go online and get the spoilers because they're just sitting on YouTube and looking up shorts.
I don't
all
understand
day.
why parents tell kids things.
because they would stumble across it and then
No, if you didn't
you
tell
didn't say
them
it.
and you just showed it to them, they would never have stumbled across it. So I'll let you finish your story and tell us how they already looked it up.
they haven't.
Oh.
Okay,
I told them
I was
not
expecting
to.
you
For
to say
sure.
it too.
No,
I told them not to. And my kids always listen to me. Colin, it'd be the first thing he would do. Too.
100%.
I'm with you, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's
But they're
That's
not.
Kyle.
Yeah, they're not at the point where they're like, oh, well, let me go prove Dad wrong. It's just that I
No.
I don't think they care.
you
enough.
put it in their algo. You spoke it into the ether.
I spoke it near
into
my
existence.
phone, not their phones.
So we, yeah, it was a Sixth Sense.
It's gonna be just hovering around their orbit.
I wanted to show it to Nolan, so we showed him.
Really?
preview.
Am I crazy? Is it for kids?
He might be able to handle it. He's yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I
And
don't
then,
think
but
there's
also
a
I was
lot
talking about the Blair Witch Project, so I'm like, oh, let's watch. And so I was trying to say, I'm like, no, it's real found
Jesus,
footage.
I feel like I'm failing as a dad.
I'm just trying to.
Aren't showing them
A little
his kid's
mystery.
Predator,
Yeah,
Sixth
I know,
Sense,
that was really young.
Blair Witch. It's just murder.
We didn't show, but I was trying to tell him that it was real and it was actual found footage, and they were exploring the Blair Witch, and then Lindsay's like, no, but it wasn't real. I'm like, come on, man, let the kid have a little imagination. He
Let
was
him live.
totally bought in. He'll believe it if you say it. She's like, I don't want to lie to him. I'm like, no, but that's just how it's
Not
supposed
saying anything wouldn't have been lying.
to be. Right.
You would have lied.
Yes.
She wouldn't have.
Yeah. But
We did Remember the Titans last week before Roman's first football scrimmage the night before. I was like, hey, let's watch Remember the Titans.
nice. Did they watch? They made it through all of it.
He watched all of it.
Nice.
He didn't. Part of why I had been hesitant to watch it previously, I was like, I don't know if I'm where we are in terms of like having a conversation about race, because kids are blessedly naive to issues,
Right.
and we had to talk a little bit about race and why people were mad at kids going to school. So I mean, he gets it, or at least he does in the conversation. So I'm like, but I was like, yeah, I like feel It's not bad by any means, but I mean, it's definitely not a movie without anything. You got Sunshine kissing another guy in the locker room, like
Sunshine from California.
yeah. So I'm like, damn, it's 8-year-olds, 8-year-olds, dude.
You have to explain some stuff. Yeah, just stick to horror movies. Much less explaining. Well, his first question was like, "Is there a real witch?" You know, I'm like, "Yeah."
Lindsay's upstairs. No,
No, there's no such thing as witches.
In the first movie, did you recognize the kid that took the drugs in the beginning?
kid, the
Billiam.
Billiam.
From something. What was he? I don't know.
Oh, the
what,
kid on
though.
the YouTube video?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but I don't know from what.
That would be young Neil from Scott
yes.
Pilgrim,
Yeah.
which also starred
Brie Larson,
Brie Larson.
Yeah.
who I definitely forgot was in.
I totally forgot she was. Yeah, she was in it.
Yeah.
And yeah, looks. Is this before? What's the indie movie that I really like that she's in?
Room.
No, before.
No, it's the
7 or long term.
Yeah, it's the one with
short term 12.
Lakeith Stanfield.
Short term 12. It was
Yeah,
2013.
Short Term 12 was great.
So
Lakeith's first movie.
That's a year after, because this was 2012, right? Was
Right.
first one 21 Jump Street, and this Short Term 12 was 2013. So
No
maybe
way.
filmed- yeah, that's crazy to me too.
There's
but
no way.
why?
Way.
Way, dude. I said Vladimir, no way. He said way.
It's really
We
funny.
haven't done Wayne's World either. But yeah, it was a year later. I should rewatch this. But that's probably why, because I probably watched 21
That
Jump
blows
Street,
my fucking
and I
mind.
didn't know who Brie Larson was until, and even after Short Term 12,
I think
didn't really know
IMDb's
her.
wrong.
The internet is wrong.
How do we fix this?
98% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's got to be one of the highest.
Short Term 12?
Yeah.
It's really good. Mm-hmm. And she was on the Tonight Show. That's really wow. First thing she was ever in. Tonight Show in 1998. Roadkill Easy Bake Oven Girl.
That's your claim.
Sounds
to
like
fame.
like a skit.
I thought that was her first movie.
Yeah.
It's not.
It was right around.
Well, it could have been filmed before and just came out.
She was in 13 Going on 30 in 2004.
Huh.
with Garner and Ruffalo.
McConaughey? Oh, you're probably right. You're probably
I
right.
think it is Ruffalo, yeah. So yeah, I'm surprised that I maybe liked 21 Jump Street more than Brady, but I guess it makes sense.
I knew that one. You're right. You throw Channing Tatum and it's going to.
It was just a good comedy.
It wasn't. I will tell you, it's not because of him why I
Yeah.
don't think it's that good. He's fine. He does everything he's supposed to do well. I just don't think that it's. I thought in my brain it was like kind of a nonstop. This movie's hilarious all the way through, and I did not feel that way. I was like not laughing at a lot of jokes. Just felt really stupid, and that surprised me because where I had it in my brain was in a way different spot.
I can see that.
But it's not because of Channing Tatum.
Yeah,
Who
he had
does nothing.
And in the second one, he had some good lines like the annals of history made me chuckle instead of the annals, and Kate Blanchett and the fact that he knew it. He's like, I thought with this budget we could get Kate Blanchett. We had Kate Blanchett. You mean carte blanche?
They said they tried really hard to get her to make a cameo at the end.
Yeah, that would have been good.
But they just couldn't make it work.
She's like, no, this is stupid. But yeah, they had a good and I like the ending montage too, with all they went up to like 41 or whatever.
Yeah, just kept
doing
going.
20. Yeah, that's
It did keep going. Some of them were funny.
One of my Tate technicalities, or just things I did like, is
One.
when Channing Tatum's moving out of the house and he throws his stuff in a garbage bag. Like, did you ever throw anything in a garbage bag that you were going to keep?
Yeah, but that's a thing.
Matt Clara used it as a bag when
Yeah.
we went to visit Mike in Wisconsin, and we made fun of him. And now they have a fucking have you seen the Louis Vuitton selling a garbage bag?
Yeah, dude, that's definitely not that's not. I don't think
Never
that's a
did.
I don't know if it's
technicality
Louis,
in the
but
least.
There is
it's a real thing.
I never did it myself, so that's just something I
Yeah, I could confirm that Matt Clara was the. I'm sorry, it's Balenciaga. This thing is $2,000 for that bag.
For our garbage
It
bag.
literally looks like a Glad bag. For those at home that don't have, but look up Balenciaga's
neon
most
blue.
expensive trash bag in the world. It's $1,700, $1,800.
Thundred.
Basically. Crazy, right? Yeah.
$1,700.
Did I sound like Trump on the Elon Musk podcast? Oh man.
Yeah. I was just like, that just seems dumb. I know people do it, but it's just like, it's a garbage bag. Throw that shit away if you're going to throw it in there. You don't need it.
Don't put
Clearly.
good shit in garbage bags.
Right.
All right.
It's just a
No, I wanna-
vestibule of transportation.
Yeah, it just works.
No.
You prefer a box.
Yeah, put it in
Yeah,
a box.
but if you don't have a box, you
don't
use a
have a
bag.
box.
And what everybody
Especially
usually has is a
In
garbage
high
bag.
school or
Yeah.
college.
No,
You know.
I always had bags.
Look at the person doing it. You think he's stashing boxes?
he's got to have something for all the.
That was your only technicality?
That's what I was like. You just got one.
No, but I
Yeah.
appreciate it. It's good.
Yeah, I didn't mean I
That's not
wasn't
good.
really diving deep into this film.
Right.
It's
You
pretty
can't-
surface level.
If you didn't look it up already, do you know who the football announcers were during
So-
the college football games?
So I couldn't tell the first one because I was in and out watching.
You definitely got the second
The
one.
second one, yeah.
Martin, you don't even
I don't
know
even-
who-
Was
Yeah.
the first one Keegan Michael Key?
No.
Okay.
The second one was Rich Eisen. Oh,
I mean, didn't he
Oh,
just say
no.
that he listened to his podcast?
he did, but he didn't. I just realized on his face
Yeah,
he did
that
not.
wasn't who I thought.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so it was Rich Eisen.
That's the only
and-
one I knew because by audio I heard it. I was like, oh, damn.
Because the other one is Will Forte.
Correct. That's what I didn't know.
Yeah, that's who I knew right away. right
No,
off
Will
the bat.
Forte and Rich Eisen were the two.
Did we never saw them.
no.
We just okay, yeah.
That's
they were
why.
just calling the game.
Got it.
That's why I didn't know. But like, I knew Will Forte when he came across. I was like, oh, that's him.
In hindsight, I probably would have got it, but in the moment, I didn't. I definitely knew Rich Eisen because that's why I thought for sure, Jelani, after you were talking about Rich Eisen an hour ago to us.
I love Rich Eisen, but didn't recognize his voice there.
Yeah, we got. I know Tatum plays a much older cop pretending to be a college student, befriending Wyatt Russell's football playing character. Russell plays a much older character posing as a college age guy trying to play baseball, and everybody wants them,
It all comes full circle.
It all-
which was a couple years down the road.
Yeah, he got the idea. He's like, hey, that's not a bad idea. Hey, throw this in there.
Maybe Linklater just saw this movie and was like, "Yep, putting that in. It's in the movie."
You're an athlete. Did you like the cube of ice joke?
Again, like
The Office
I don't even think I got it.
when they had
and
the
the
new
cops
office.
at the church or whatever, where
Yeah.
his office is right in the middle. And they're like, it looks like a big cube of ice.
Oh yeah, I did hear him say that, but I didn't get it.
The original joke was it looked like a block of frozen water, but no one
That would
no one laughed,
Definitely went over my head.
and so they went with a more obvious one that still went
Went over a few
went
people's
over
head.
people's heads.
Yeah, nice.
I think I would have liked a block of. I wouldn't have got it, but I would have liked
The effort.
the
Get A for
deeper.
effort.
Yeah, it would have been explained to you on TikTok many years later.
100%. 100p.
Here's the joke that went over your head.
The last one was the restaurant, the Mexican restaurant at the spring break where they met up.
Gringos
At
Pendejos.
Puerto
Gringos
Mexico.
pendejos. Stupid Americans.
I thought you were going to bring up Andrew's French Fry Emporium from the first one. When he starts singing the song, he's like,
Yeah,
where do I
right.
know you from? He's like, I did the commercial for Andrew's French Fry Emporium.
No.
That one, I was laughing at that when they tried to make up the song on the spot and they just couldn't do it. But, you know, it was fine. It's not something that I would rewatch
Yeah.
over and over again.
Yeah, there's a rereason I didn't, right?
Right.
There's a reason I haven't gone back to it until now, but
Yeah,
it was fine for every 10 years or so.
I think I'm at the limit. I just don't have a huge desire. I really wish it was funnier. I wish it was something I would want to watch again.
Yeah.
It's not.
As always, infiltrate the dealer, find the supplier. Thanks, and save it for the pod.